excuse me. Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Six Ninja, and the place to be for Paper Saber Universe. This is the New World Podcast, brother. We're talking about SmackDown, January 19th, 2024, Atlanta, Georgia. Kevin Patrick, Corey Graves on commentary. We started off with Jimmy, Solo, Paul, rolling up because we have a big contract signing tonight, folks. The undisputed WWE Universal Championship contract signing. What's going to happen? Nick Aldis is out there. It's such a great back and forth, and LA Knight's killing it on that mic, man. Of course, you know, everyone comes out, they get introduced, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, everyone's signing the contract one by one. Roman's like, nah, I ain't gonna sign that. And then Nick Aldis is like, if you don't sign it, you will vacate the undisputed Universal Championship. And Roman's like, what'd you say? Then it ended up in a big brawl, big fight. Paul, LA Knight took a shot. He's like, I'll cut bacon off your back, Paul. And I was like, damn. So what a great way to start off SmackDown with some excitement, and this also sets up some matches for later on in the evening. I really did enjoy this. It ended the way I thought it would. All contract signings do, you know. So then we have Logan Paul is here as well because he's going to be on the KO show. AJ goes to Nick Aldis and says, I want LA Knight, and that's what's going to happen. We have AJ Styles versus LA Knight later on. So a lot of stuff to unpack, and we got the LWO and Santos and Angel and Humberto. They go and fight, and this was a fun match. Very fun match after a very fun segment. LWO did not get the win. Santos, Angel, and Humberto got the win, and they rightfully so, I think. You know, I feel that they're gelling now. They're gelling with me more because I was never the biggest Angel or Humberto fan, but I think under the guidance of Santos, you know, he's a good leader for this group and everything like that. So hats off, and LWO, and then we have a match next week with Santos and Carlito for the go-home show for SmackDown. That's awesome, man. So awesome. LWO for life. Next up, we have Kayla with Pretty Deadly backstage. They said, oh, yeah, we're ready to take on Tyler Bate and Butch. We're ready to fight them. Yes, boy. But guess what? Tyler Bate comes out. Pretty Deadly are in the ring. And we have the return, the mighty return of Pete Dunne. Oh, happy days, oh, happy days. That Butch name's in the garbage, oh, happy days. Pete Dunne is back, and I'm like, thank God. I know it's just a name change. He could have just ran with Butch, but no. Man, I remember when he was finally brought up, I was like, oh shit, and then they're like, oh, he's like a ravaged little chihuahua, you know, he's always mad, he always wants to fight. Then he gets paired with Sheamus and then Ridge too, you know, to become the brawling brutes and stuff like that. You know, I don't think that was really his identity, but he did what he could do with it. And I'm glad that Ridge is now in NXT doing his own thing, trying to make a name for himself. And we have Pete Dunne, the mighty return. The Bruiserweight himself and Tyler Bate. Fun match with Pretty Deadly. Pete showing off tremendous skills, especially breaking fingers, and Tyler Bate got some really unique moves that I love, and they get the victory over Pretty Deadly. And afterwards, Pretty Deadly goes backstage, and she's like, well, what happened? You guys said you were ready. We were ready for Butch. We weren't ready for Pete, dude. Shit, that shit was great, man. I do love me some Pretty Deadly. So then we have Bobby and the Street Profits package. They are talking to the Final Testament and saying like, hey, what you did and attacking us and everything like that. We like to settle things face to face, you know, so we're going to see if the Final Testament answers back. KO show with Logan Paul, and I love when KO's like, yeah, Logan Paul. Here comes Logan. Great back and forth banter. I think this is some of Logan Paul's best work on the mic. And Kevin Owens, you know, sticking it right to him as well. And he takes off the cast, and Logan Paul gets a cheap shot trying to knock out KO. But nope, RKO got back up and they started fighting and brawling on the outside of the ring, and Logan re-attacks that hand, re-injures the hand. So what is KO going to do at the Royal Rumble? Will he have a cast on, or will he just be really taped up to take on Logan Paul? Because we're telling a lot of stories with this broken hand. And I feel this match is going to be great. I think these two are going to go balls to the wall crazy at the Royal Rumble, and I cannot wait. And it's just next week, and I got a 3-day weekend on top of that. Life is good. It's good. The Bloodline backstage, and Roman's getting mad. He's like, when I tell y'all to fix it, it needs to be fixed. And he goes after Jimmy, and he's like, you talking about quarterback, yeet, no yeet, all this stuff. And I gotta say, the one thing I did not expect was Solo got up in Roman's face to protect Jimmy and say, hey, it was me, but I will fix it. Because you call me the next heir of the tribal chief, I'll fix this. And I was like, gave me goosebumps, especially when he got up and Roman was like, what the, like Solo standing in my way? And the fact that Solo was like, I'll take care of it because it was my fault last week, and walks off, and Jimmy's all, I'm with him. Women's Tag Team Championship match, it was okay. Katana Chance, Kaden Carter versus Unholy Union. Nice to finally see these two back on TV. Damage Control's outside. Bailey's on commentary. This basically sets up what we're going to get next week on the go-home show for the Royal Rumble is the Kabuki Warriors are back, baby. And they're going to take on Katana Chance and Kaden Carter for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And I will say this. I said it to my wife. I was like, I hope they beat them. I want them to have the gold. I want that so bad for Damage Control right now. They need those tag team titles, and I want them to beat Katana and Kaden. I want the Kabuki Warriors to be tag team champions again. Like, I don't know, Katana, Kaden, I'm party attitude. I don't know. I'm not really digging it. So I'm hoping the Kabuki Warriors whoop that ass. I said it. We celebrate Pat Patterson, the creator of the Royal Rumble, and he will be missed. Then we have the OC backstage, Mia and the Good Brothers, and AJ gets in their face and like, hey, and AJ's like, I'm the lone wolf now. Woof, woof. The Final Testament cut a promo answering back Bobby and the Street Profits, and they said they will see them next week. Are we going anywhere with that name that was reported, the Pride with Bobby and Street Profits? Because that wasn't a thing. So, or are they still trying to hold on to that? But the Final Testament, man, great. I know this is Karrion Kross at its scariest. So, Carmelo interview, being asked about last week what happened with him and Austin Theory. And Austin Theory comes up and is like, hey, man, this is my town. This is my show. And Grayson's there. And Carmelo's like, okay, let's run it back then. Next week in Miami, me and you, let's do it one more time. And Austin Theory's like, oh, come on now. Next week I'm busy. Then Grayson Waller's like, oh, no. He'll be there. He will be there. And Austin's like, you need to quit doing that, man. You just keep signing me up for things I don't ask you to sign me up for. It's fun stuff there. AJ Styles versus LA Knight. A little bit of a wonky match. I think LA got his he got clocked and he got his bell rung a little bit because this match kind of seemed off. Then when they finally got their groove and everything like that, the match was flowing. But of course here comes Jimmy with a distraction, and here comes Solo taking out LA Knight, and AJ Styles, and I like how this set up the main event. Solo comes out, takes out these two, grabs the mic, and says, all right, 1 down, 2 down, 1 more to go. Randy Orton, get your ass out here now. Boom, we have our main event. Solo, with him and Solo, first time facing each other. Nothing crazy, kind of ended the way I thought it was going to end. Nick Aldis on the ring side and everything. But, of course, Randy Orton got the win with a cool RKO. Then Jimmy's back out there in the LA Knights fighting. The AJ Styles comes out. And after all this craziness, Randy, LA, and AJ are in the ring. And LA hits AJ Styles and is like, yeah, that's what you get. And then Randy hits him with the RKO. Then, of course, here comes Roman Reigns with a Superman punch, and he signs the contract. He takes it with Nick Aldis. He's like, signs it, drops it to Nick in disrespectful ways, and he's just like, all right, let's do this. So we have our fatal 4-way for the Royal Rumble next Saturday. I'm excited. But, of course, the end of the show in great fashion was Roman ready to get that spear. And here comes Randy Orton with RKO, taking out Roman. And I love Randy grabbing the contract and putting that in Roman's face and saying, like, yep, buddy, that's what's happening next week at the Royal Rumble. Great show, 5 out of 5. Tell me what you think. Drop those comments below. I had a really good time with SmackDown, January 19, 2024, Atlanta, Georgia. Kevin Patrick, Corey Graves on commentary. My match of the night? Ooh, I gotta say, LWO versus Santos, Angel, and Humberto. I had really fun with that. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate versus Pretty Deadly was fun, too, as well. So, a lot of great stuff. Tell me what you think. Drop those comments below. Are you excited for the Royal Rumble? Because I sure am. All right, y'all. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share it with your grandma, share it with your grandpa, share it with a bum down at Walmart. I am KMB the Sexy Ninja. And remember, the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Birmingham, England, weighing in at 205 pounds. He